Hello everybody, welcome to the second part of the video on fixed prepositions. And as you all know, these fixed prepositions are going to be useful to you in solving the verbal ability section of your placement test. And these fixed prepositions, they'll help you in solving those fill in the blanks type of questions, spot the error type of questions, sentence improvement. And in addition to all this, they are going to be tremendously useful in solving the questions from closed test. Okay, so these are very important fixed prepositions. These are very important words that you must pay attention to. This video is a set of 30 words along with the prepositions that go well with these words. Okay, so pay attention. The first sentence that we have got here is ashamed dash asking means ashamed dash learning. The prepositions given to you are from, for, of, to. Okay. So which of these would fill up these blanks? So you would say ashamed of asking actually. Ashamed of asking means ashamed of learning. Okay. So the preposition that goes well with this word ashamed is of. Okay. The second sentence says it took us a week to climb dash Mount Everest. The prepositions given to you are up, on, this means null, nothing, no preposition, over. Okay, which of these would fill up this blank? It took us a week to climb dash Mount Everest. Okay, try to answer it for yourself and see if you do it well. Now see, what happens in this type of a question is, this is a gradient given to you, maybe a slope given to you, okay, and you are trying to climb. This may be a mountain slope or it may be a staircase or anything. Okay, so what is happening here is whenever you say the word climb, this up is inherent in it. So you don't have to repeat it. Okay. All you can say is it took us a week to climb Mount Everest. Climb up Mount Everest is actually not required. But there may be cases when this phi or no preposition required is not an option given to you at all. Okay. In those cases, up may be a better choice. Otherwise, this word doesn't require a preposition with it. Sentence number 3. Listen carefully. Don't jump dash the conclusions. Okay. At, to, on, towards. Which of these? The confusion is usually between at and to. Some of you might get confused with on, but that would be rare. Usually most of you would get confused between at and to. So see, when you're talking in terms of conclusion, okay, you would say don't jump to the conclusion. Okay, but see this one, I jumped dash the chance to join them. Okay, now I've used at here. Why? Because here in this case I'm talking in terms of a chance, opportunity or an offer. This may be a job offer also. Okay. So in that case, you would use jump at. Jump at the opportunity is what actually you are trying to say here. So I jumped at the chance to join them. I jumped at the offer. I jumped at the opportunity is what you would say. Okay. Sentence number 4. Ministers are accountable dash parliament dash all the promises they make to the people. So you see this word accountable, it usually takes two prepositions with it. Okay. To and for. Being accountable means being responsible. So you are responsible, you are accountable to someone and you are accountable for something. So this parliament, it is a body, right? So it is like a group of people or a collective noun sort of a thing. Okay. So ministers are accountable to parliament, right? Try to replace this word parliament with persons. Okay. Let us say CM. So in this case it becomes somebody, right? So ministers are accountable to parliament for all the promises, for something, right? So this promises, all the promises is what? It is something, right? That is why we are using for here. So ministers are accountable to parliament for all the promises they make to the people. Okay. Pay attention. These are extremely important. Because when you find these type of blanks in your closed test and you see that okay, this blank is followed by to or this blank is followed by for, which of these choices go well with these prepositions? So these words are actually clues for you to solve those closed test questions. Okay, so extremely important, pay attention, and you will have to practice them. As you read them, make sure that you pay attention to them. That is the only way to improve them. Okay. Sentence number 5. I beg to differ dash your interpretation of the situation. From, over, with, to. Try to answer it for yourself and see if you get it right. So I beg to differ with your interpretation of the situation is what you would say here. Why with? Because here you are talking about the sense of disagreement in the opinions. Okay, my interpretation of the situation is my opinion of the situation, right? And you might not agree with it. So if you are talking in the sense of disagreement or in the sense of having a different opinion, you would say differ with. Okay, I beg to differ with your interpretation of the situation. But see this one. The twins look alike, but their temperaments differ from each other. Here with this word differ, I've used from. Why? Because these are two things, right? But they are not same, right? They are unlike, right? So that is why they differ from each other. Okay. So if you're talking in terms of opinions or disagreement, it would be with. Otherwise, it would be from. If you're comparing two things, then it would be from. And you want to say that these things are not same, they are not similar, then they differ from each other. Okay. Sentence number 6. We often hear the husband and wife quarreling dash each other dash money. Okay. We often hear the husband and wife quarreling. The options given to you are these 1, 2, or 3 and 4. Just you can read them for yourself. The correct option here would be this fourth one. Why? Let me explain it to you. We often hear the husband and wife quarreling with each other over money. You quarrel with a person and you quarrel over things is what it is trying to tell you, right? So this word quarrel, it uses with when you are talking about somebody, a person, right? You are talking about a person and here you are talking about a thing. So you quarrel over the things and you quarrel with somebody. Okay. Now before we go ahead, I just want to remind you that there is a first part also of the video on fixed prepositions. Okay. The thumbnail is shown to you here. Make sure that after you are done with this video, you do watch that video also, because that video carries a collection of another 30 important words that are usually asked to you in the exams. Okay. So these videos on fixed prepositions are very, very important if you want to crack the verbal ability section of your entrance test or your placement test. Okay. Make sure that you watch all the parts of these videos. Okay. Let's move ahead now. Sentence number 7. They inferred his indifference dash the tone of his voice. Usually asked. Through, from, in, of. Which of these would fill this blank? They inferred his indifference dash the tone of his voice. Now the first thing to understand here is, what does this word infer mean? It means to conclude or to deduce from signals rather than explicit words. So you are drawing some conclusion based on the signals rather than the spoken words. Okay, here that is what it means. You are trying to, otherwise it says it is a conclusion that you are trying to draw. Okay, and in this particular sentence, trying to deduce from unspoken words, from signals other than unspoken words. Okay, so how did they infer or how did they conclude his indifference? They concluded his indifference. They came to the conclusion that he is looking indifferent. How? From the tone of his voice. So, from is what would fill up this blank. They inferred his indifference from the tone of his voice is what you would say. Okay. Sentence number 8. My parents always ask me to withdraw myself dash energy sucking situations. From, of, out of. Which of these would fill the blank? My parents always ask me to withdraw, to get out of that situation. Okay, is what the word withdraw means. Okay, so withdraw from the situation. You withdraw yourself from that situation. You pull yourself out. Okay. The landscape looked completely devoid, dash life and artificial. Now this word devoid, first of all, it is important to know the meaning of this word. This word devoid, it means completely lacking in something, is the meaning of this word. Completely lacking in something. So the landscape is completely lacking in what? In life, and it looks artificial. So the landscape looked completely devoid of life, is what you would say. This is the preposition that goes with the word devoid. Okay, and as I have been telling you, the only way to learn these is once you know the meanings, you have to read, you have to practice them. Okay, because these are called fixed prepositions. They go along with these words. Okay. Sentence number 10. The management agreed to compromise dash the labor union dash installation of new biometric system. Okay. Now the options given to you are these four. You can read them for yourself. Which of these would fill up the blank? These two blanks. Try to answer them for yourself. The management agreed to compromise. So the word given to you is actually compromise here. Okay. So whenever this word compromise is given to you, so you compromise with someone on something. Okay. So this labor union, actually here it is that someone. Okay. And this installation of new biometric system, what is this? This is something, right? So now this becomes easier. The management agreed to compromise with the labor union with someone on something, on installation of biometric system. That is something here. Okay. So the correct option for us will be this, number 2. With someone on something. Okay. That is the right use of this word compromise. Sentence number 11. None dash the brave get this opportunity, usually asked. None but the brave. Why but the brave? Because the sentence is actually trying to tell you that nobody other than the brave people get this opportunity. Okay. So nobody but the brave people get this opportunity. That is what the sentence is trying to tell you. Okay. So it is very, very important that whenever you are solving any of these type of questions, you go after the meaning of the sentence. What that sentence is trying to convey to you? What is it trying to communicate to you? What is the meaning of the sentence? That is extremely, extremely important because the usage of words change with the meaning of the sentences. Okay. Sentence number 12. Let's dispense the opening ceremony this time and get down to the match. And straight away get down to the match. The options given to you are of, the one with double F, with, or no preposition required. So you are actually asked which of these prepositions will go with the word dispense. Okay. So the first thing to know here is what does this word dispense here mean? Okay. It means to get rid of someone, stop using something, or in that context. Okay. In that sense you use this word. And the preposition that goes along with this word in that sense is with. Okay. So let's dispense with the opening ceremony this time and straight away get down to the match is what the sentence is saying. So let's not go after the opening ceremony. We will not have the opening ceremony this time and we'll straight away start with the match is what the sentence is saying. Okay. But see this one now. This is usually asked you in the exams. The services of ABC agency have been dispensed with. Okay. Pay attention. This will be given as a blank to you, or they may give you some other preposition here and they mark an underline here and they might ask you improve this sentence. Okay. So you have to remember that in this sense the preposition that goes along here is the services of ABC agency have been dispensed with is the right use here. Right. Okay. Let's move on. Sentence number 13. The CM will preside dash the meeting. At, on, over or nothing. What should fill up this blank? Try to answer it for yourself. The CM will preside over the meeting is what you would say. Now, first of all, the thing to understand here is, what does this word preside over means? Presiding over something means being in charge of that particular meeting or being in charge of that particular body or association. Okay. So in that sense, you use this word. So the CM will preside over the meeting. The Chief Justice of India presides over the Supreme Court. Okay. Sentence number 14. I'm not familiar dash anyone in this new country. With, to, from. The confusion is usually between with and to. Here you would fill I'm not familiar with anyone in this new country. Okay. Now see this sentence. This voice is not familiar to me. I am coming here now in the second part of the sentence. Okay. But the other way how it is written is I'm not familiar with this voice. So I am occurs here now in the beginning of the sentence. So that is how the usage of the words to and me is changing. To and with is changing here. Okay. So I'm not familiar with this voice. This voice is not familiar to me. Okay. If you want, you can pause the video here and try to read these sentences to yourself, maybe once or twice. Okay. Sentence number 15. I'm fed up dash my job. At, of, with, from. I'm fed up with my job. Okay. Being fed up means being tired of something that has existed in your life for a long time. Okay. So I'm fed up with my job. Many a times you would see of. Many people, they use of in informal language. Okay. But as I said, of is a little informal. More formal is I'm fed up with my job. So in exams, if you find this type of a question, you should write with. Okay. Sentence number 16. Your job is commensurate dash your qualification and interpersonal skills. The options given to you are to, with, as or null. Now the first thing to understand here is, what does this word commensurate mean? Okay. So if you read this sentence, your job is commensurate dash your qualification and interpersonal skills. This word commensurate, here it means it is proportional to, or it is in line with, equivalent to, corresponding or comparable. Means these are your qualifications and this job is comparable. Your pay scale or whatever you are getting is comparable. Okay. It is not less. It is neither less nor more. Okay. What you have with you in terms of your qualification and interpersonal skills, your job is in line with it. Okay. So your job is commensurate with is what you would say here. It is commensurate with your qualification and interpersonal skills. Many a times you would see that some people use to also. Okay. But given a choice, use with. If you do not have a choice, then maybe you can mark to. But otherwise, if given a choice between these two, then you should mark with as your right option. Okay. Now the 17th sentence. The needle can easily penetrate dash your skin. Okay. The needle can easily, this is your skin, let us say, and this is a needle, and it can penetrate your skin. It can get into your skin is what it is trying to tell you. Okay. So actually there is no need of any preposition here. So your answer should be null. The needle can easily penetrate your skin is simply what you should say. Sentence number 18. It's difficult to choose. The two athletes are dash par with each other. I'm sure this would be easy for most of you. Okay. It's difficult to choose. These are two athletes and it's difficult to choose between them. The reason is they are at par with each other. They are at par. They are almost at the same level. Right? So at par is the right preposition to use here. Sentence number 19. Ice cubes dissolved dash water. The options given to you are in, into, as, to. What should fill up this blank? Ice cubes dissolved dash water. So the first thing, as I always say, is try to understand the meaning of this sentence. This sentence is saying that you have got some ice cubes here, okay, and it is not saying that there is some water also in this container and the ice cubes are getting dissolved in this water. Okay, it's not saying that. It's saying that you have got some ice cubes and now their physical state is changing. They are turning into water. They are melting and turning into water now. Okay, so the ice cubes dissolved into water. Okay, their physical state changed. That is what the sentence is trying to tell you. That is why into. Otherwise, what you would say? Salt dissolves in water, right? Because you're trying to dissolve the salt in water. You're not trying to change its physical state. You're trying to just dissolve it, okay? But there is something solid and now it is converting into a different state of matter, okay? And it is becoming a liquid now. So from one state it is changing into another state, right? That is what the sentence is trying to tell you. That is why I always say try to understand the meaning of the sentence. Okay. Now see this. This is a very commonly used phrasal verb. Dissolved into tears, dissolve into laughter. Okay. When we do phrasal verbs, I'll explain this to you again. But for now, just know that dissolve into tears, okay, or burst into tears, or dissolve into laughter out of excitement, out of anxiety, or out of fear, or anything of that kind. So it is out of an emotion. So dissolve into tears out of excitement, out of fear, out of anxiety. Okay. Sentence number 20. His ego hindered him dash taking the next step. Okay. So I'm sure it should not be a problem for most of you. So his ego hindered him from, stopped him from taking the next step is what the sentence is trying to tell you. But see this one. Storm hindered the rescue operations. Storm hindered the rescue operations. It's not hindered from the rescue operation. No. Storm, there was a storm going on and it hindered the rescue operations. Okay. So the clue here is this word taking. Okay, his ego hindered him from taking the next step. So as you can see, the meaning of this word is it is to make difficult, to make something difficult for someone, or to make something difficult to happen is what the sentence is actually trying to tell you. Sentence number 21. A mile is equivalent dash 1.6 kilometers approximately. Width of 2 or nothing. What should fill up this blank? A mile is equivalent to. Okay, it is almost equal to is what it is trying to tell you. Okay, nothing difficult, but it is quite common in the exams. So it is important that you pay attention and you are ready to face it. Okay. Sentence number 22. I prefer Rome dash Venice. The options given to you are to, over, than, more than. Okay. I prefer Rome to Venice. Okay, whenever you prefer something, there are two things and you prefer this, you say I prefer this to this. Okay. Sentence number 23. The girl stared dash him in disbelief. First of all, what does this word stare mean? It means to look at something, to take a glance at something. Okay. So the girl stared at him. Okay. In disbelief. But now see this sentence. She kept staring into the mirror is what I'm using here. Okay. Stared at him but staring into the mirror. Why? Because if this is a mirror and this is the girl who is looking into the mirror. Okay. Actually she is looking into her own eyes. Okay. That is what it means. So she kept staring into the mirror. But in general, it is, if you are just talking about taking a glance at somebody, taking a look at somebody, then you would say the girl stared at him in disbelief. Okay. Sentence number 24. Planet's weather is becoming more conducive dash wildfires, said scientists. Of, to, for, in. Which one would you use? So you would say conducive. With the word conducive means becoming more favorable actually. Okay, so it is more favorable. So the planet's weather is becoming more conducive to wildfires. Okay, more formal. Many a times you would find people using for also, but given a choice, prefer to. Okay, now see this sentence again. This quiet environment is conducive to learning. Right? The environment is quiet and this is favorable, that you can, it is favorable to learning. Okay, so favorable is what it means here. Okay, so conducive to learning. Sentence number 25. He's notorious dash cheating his clients. Right? The word notorious here means he has a bad reputation. He is infamous. Right? So you are famous for something or you are infamous for something. So he's notorious for cheating his clients is what you would say here. Okay. 26. The little girl was trembling dash fear. Okay. Now all of you must have noticed that whenever we are too excited, we are very excited, or whenever we fear something, many times we start shaking, right? So this tremble, so this is called trembling. The little girl was trembling with fear. It could be because of anxiety, with fear. Okay, it is clearly said it is because of fear. So the little girl was trembling with fear. Okay. Sentence number 27. Children, can you stop arguing dash each other with, over, about, for? Okay, these are the 4 options given to you. So children, can you stop arguing with each other is what you would say. Why? Because you argue with someone. Right? This each other is what? It is someone. And see this sentence now. Let's not argue over such petty things. You argue over things. Right? These petty things are what? These are things. These are, you argue over something and you argue with somebody. So let's not argue over such petty things. If you find this confusing anywhere, you can just pause the video here and try to read these sentences once or twice. Things should become pretty clear to you. Okay, read this sentence also, because many a times you'll find this in the exams. There's no point in arguing further. Okay, that is what you would say. There's no point in arguing further. Okay, because you are not saying that no, you're not talking about someone or something. You're just saying that I don't want to continue from here. Okay, there's no point in arguing further. So the right preposition to use here is this, in. Okay. Sentence number 28. She comes dash a noble family. So this sentence is actually trying to tell you that the lady who we are talking about, she belongs to a noble family. So what is the right preposition to use here? From, of, in, towards. The confusion is usually between from and of. Okay, and many of you might use from here, but actually the right word to use here is of. She comes of a noble family when you want to convey the sense that she belongs to a noble family. Okay. Sentence number 29. We are deeply indebted dash you dash your help. Indebted here, this word means we are grateful to you, we are thankful to you, we owe you gratitude, something of that kind. Okay, so we are deeply indebted to you for your help. Why like this? Because indebted to someone. Okay, and someone is who? Someone is you. And indebted for something. And what is that something? That something is your help here. Okay, so we are deeply indebted to you for your help. Sentence number 30. Good writing skills. I'm sure she takes dash her father. Now we are talking about a lady here who possesses good writing skills, and people believe that she has inherited those writing skills from her father. Okay, so she takes after her father. Okay, is the right word to use here. So you can see that whenever you want to say that, okay, she has inherited these qualities from her father or mother, whenever that is the case, you would say she takes after her father or after her mother. So with this we come to the end of this video, and I sincerely hope that whatever we have learned today in this video is going to be useful to you in your placement test and your entrance exams also. If you found today's video useful, do give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And we'll be releasing more videos on verbal ability. So if you want to stay updated with the new topics, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Till then, bye-bye and take care.